Koita haneulato.
The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TV1 News. In this edition, LLG election funds yet to be dispersed, total export revenue from mineral sector to grow in 2025, and Hunters duo ruled out of this weekend's match. With only 3 weeks to go before the issue of writs and nominations open for the 2025 local level government elections, there is still no funding given to the Madang Provincial Electoral Office to prepare for this event. According to the Provincial Election Manager sponsor Navi, groundwork has already been done and is now awaiting funding to put into motion logistics and support to carry out the elections on the dates as accorded by the Papua New Guinea Electoral Commission.
Data updating for all the LLGs in the province has been completed with polling schedules and the appointment of written officials done as Madang Province prepares to conduct the LLG elections. Provincial Election Manager sponsor Navi is now calling on the government to release election funds for the province, stressing that they cannot afford to delay the process anymore and deny the people their constitutional right in participating in the elections.
Preparation for the election is well underway, and we are ready to conduct the election. The only thing is, if the government is going to give us the money quickly, because we have only about 3 weeks left for the issue of it. So if there is a delay again and again, and then we are denying our people's right to elect their level government.
Madang Province has made a funding submission of 3.7 million kina to the Electoral Commission for the conduct of elections in the province. Mr. Navi also indicated that they have sent an additional 2.1 million submission to the Madang provincial government for counter-funding.
We also did a submission for the provincial government for counterpart funding. The submission is now with PEC, and hopefully PEC will sit shortly and endorse the funding that is to our office for the election purposes. We are still waiting for that as well.
Furthermore, there are outstanding allowances not being paid to 3 LLGs from last year's Common Roll update, which has led them to withhold their data. Gama in the Usino Bundi, Transgogol in the Ambenob, and Yawar LLG in the Bogia district have withheld their data updates until payment is processed.
We are hoping that government give us the money to pay these allowances, because the 3 LLGs that are holding back the data is because of the allowances. They want the allowances to be paid. If the allowances are paid, all the remaining data that is still out there in the field will be returned to us.
The LLG elections will start on the 24th of April with the issue of writs Polling expected to start on 21st June and the return of writs scheduled for 25th July 2025. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
In addition, the Madang Electoral Office also needs another 5.3 million kina to jointly run the by-election for Usinobundi District. Election Manager Sponsor Navi thinks that this by-election should be conducted concurrently with the LLG elections. Mr. Navi is requesting that money must be made available so that, if need be, both elections can be carried out at the same time.
I believe it will be conducted with the LLG elections, but we'll see what happens in the next few days. Maybe they will set another date for the by-election. Just hopefully the government give us the money and we can run the election, because there are a lot of things that is supposed to be done.
Total export revenue from the mining sector is forecasted at 30 billion kina, subject to gold price, exchange rates and the attainment of full production at the Pogera mine. Managing Director of Mineral Resource Authority, Hiri Koiari, made these announcements during the handover takeover ceremony of the Mining Ministry on Tuesday.
Head of Mineral Resource Authority, Hiri Koiari, disclosed on Tuesday that the country's total mineral export revenue in 2024 was 19 billion kina. This figure is expected to increase by 63% in 2025, with a total export revenue forecasted at 30 billion kina. This will, however, be subject to factors like the movement of gold price, the change in the exchange rates, and Pogera mine reaching full production. Hiri Koiari said the state is currently in the process of permitting Wafi, Golpu and Frida River mining projects, which are worth a total value of almost $12 billion to be done under the leadership of the new mining minister, Rainbow Paita. He said mineral exploration was also crucial, especially for a country like PNG, whose economy is largely dependent on mineral revenue, underscoring the importance of sustainability and continuous generation of the country's annual revenue. He noted that exploration expenditures have decreased and no new significant discoveries have been announced in the last decade. By current projections, all operating mines will close down by around mid-2060. The lead time or time taken from discovery to commissioning of a mine can be anywhere between 15 years, as in the case of Lihir, and more than 50 years, as in the case of the Frida River mine. Therefore, Koiari says the use and deployment of appropriate technology is important, given the rugged terrains, increasing law and order issues, and tougher standard operating procedures for major players amidst other challenges. He said the MRA's Geological Survey has commissioned a seismic reflection survey, adding that the agency was waiting for the final results before tests for deeper copper-gold bodies could be conducted around the country. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Operation Open Heart Foundation has commenced its provincial pediatric heart patient screening program for the year, starting with Manus Province with 15 patients screened. 2 patients have been identified to undergo heart surgery, one open heart and the other closed heart.
The Children's Heart Screening Team this week returned from Manus Province after screening 15 patients. The team were met at the Jackson's Domestic Terminal by Air New Guinea Chief Executive Officer Gary Seddon and Chief Commercial Officer David Glover, Operation Open Heart Foundation staff, and ambassadors from the Valley Hunters Rugby Union Football Club. Senior pediatrician Dr. Diana Olita from the National Department of Health says although 30 patients were scheduled to undergo the screening, only 15 were able to make it on time to meet the Children's Heart Screening Team this week. The others have missed out due to bad weather conditions, as it's been raining for the past week, worsening the already poor road conditions.
Past week, and the road conditions aren't so good, so they were not able to make it. But from the 15 that we saw, we got to screen 2 that were selected for surgery, one for open heart and one for closed heart surgery. So we're hoping that they will come this year and get their surgeries done.
Air Niugini's Chief Executive Officer Gary Seddon underscored Air Niugini's decade-long support to the work of the foundation.
Many more children have benefited from this program, many children to benefit from this program. Air Niugini is proud to play a part and a role in that.
Air Niugini in 2024 commenced a ticket sponsorship for the Children's Heart Screening Team. This support enabled the team to travel to 10 provinces, screening 725 children. 33 children were identified as needing open heart surgery and are awaiting the visit of the Operation Open Heart team, while 25 children were identified as needing closed heart surgery. Last year, only 9 had the closed heart surgery done. From the remaining 16, one was flown into Port Moresby last week Friday by Air Niugini to undergo the surgery through a commitment made by the airline to ensure that all these children will travel to Port Moresby for treatment.
We will do, as Air Niugini, anything that we can in order to make that program just a little bit more successful. And it remains our absolute pleasure to be involved, and we will continue to do so.
It's a new lease of life for these children. Everybody deserves that second chance, and we're happy to play our small part.
Next week, the Children's Heart Screening Team will travel to Tabubil, Western Province, to conduct heart screening. Maricela Kelaton, TV1 News.
Will Genia from the Valley Hunters Rugby Union Football Club, who was also present to welcome the team, acknowledged the important work of the foundation and the support provided by Air Niugini, underscoring the role of the ambassadors and their contribution to the cause.
Very much a part of the initiative around pushing a healthy lifestyle and healthy living to prevent things like heart disease. Also got a gala dinner that we've got happening on June the 21st, where it's a celebration of not only rugby but a celebration of the partnership, where all funds and everything that's received goes towards the Open Heart Foundation to be able to assist in whatever way the money can. And so, we're very proud to be aligned with you guys and also with Air Niugini and all the good things you guys are doing as a part of the foundation. So.
Furthermore, Dr. Olita, when giving a brief explanation of how the team conducts the screening out in the provinces, highlighted that the screening is done using a portable ultrasound device. This device was donated by BSP Financial Group in June last year.
Thank you to BSP for sponsoring this machine. This is the vital equipment that helps us to diagnose children with heart conditions. Without this machine, we would not be able to do the heart screening.
This is TV1 News. After the break, 4,000 arrests in 2024 and flooding threatens livestock.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
We are the people, connected to our land and sea. Timeless and enduring, it has served past generations, sustains us today, and will support those of tomorrow. A testament to human ingenuity, it can be shaped into limitless forms. It reflects our humanity, strong yet vulnerable. It teaches us to endure challenges to fulfill our purpose. Past technologies inspire us to look inward for creativity and sustainable solutions for the future. It brings families together, fostering moments of connection over shared meals. Known and cherished worldwide, the clay pot is a universal symbol of life, resilience, and connection.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Welcome back. Police Commissioner David Manning has revealed that approximately 4,000 arrests were recorded in 2024 for crimes committed throughout the country. This is 2,000 more arrests compared to 2022, indicated the increase in law and order problems around the country. The Commissioner revealed this during the National Development Forum on Law and Order hosted by the Consultative Implementation and Monitoring Council, or CIMC, yesterday in Port Moresby.
Manning said the increase in the number of arrests is caused by social disorder and calls for the community to change their mindset and behaviors. He said police play their part to maintain law and order, but it requires the community to help police implement law and order in the community. Manning said the increased number of arrests is part of the many challenges the RPNGC faces.
Our police force has a critical role to play. There's much work that has been done to better our police force, and there's much more to do. In 2024, police effected over 4,000 arrests across our nation. That is more than double the number of arrests in 2022. Despite increasing number of arrests, certain crime types continue to grow. Violent offences, sexual offences and drug offences, to name a few. In particular, continue to inflict harm on our communities. It's very much well documented. As Commissioner, I've removed more than 500 unprofessional and compromised members. We've built up the effectiveness and prominence of professional standards through the establishment of Internal Affairs Directorate headed by an Assistant Commissioner, first time since we started the Directorate.
Manning stated that the police force will continue to fulfill its mandated role, but it requires the support of the community, private sector, development partners, and the government to collaborate with them in upholding the rule of law in our community. Meanwhile, recommendations gathered from the forum will be presented to the government for implementation with a view to changing the narrative in order to achieve improved livelihoods and well-being of the people, build community safety and peace for the children and their children. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
More districts have come forward to acquit the use of their District Service Improvement Program funds for 2024. Angaram District in the East Sepik Province presented its 2024 acquittals to the Department of Rural Development and Implementation yesterday.
The presentation was done by local member and Minister for Forestry, Salio Waipo, who underscored the persistent challenges faced by rural districts in service delivery due to constrained funding. He emphasized that rural districts like Angaram require increased budget allocations to effectively meet the needs of their communities, especially in critical sectors such as education and health.
Slow money, I come slowly, not on time. Even our DDA, through our DDA, we procure or have a resolution passed for some projects that we have, but due to the financial constraints, money are come easy, but we roll over funds.
DIRD Secretary I.E. Vaki acknowledged the concerns raised by Minister Waipo and committed to discussing this concern with the appropriate ministers and highlighted the pressing need for increased financial support for rural districts. Secretary Vaki also encouraged Engram to prioritize service delivery within the constraints of its current budget to serve its constituent effectively.
We understand the government release money in for little crops. It's 1 million this time. Next time around, it's going to be 2 million, 3 million. You don't get full 1 million, full 10 million. So it's difficult to budget, implement straight away, so we can see impact projects.
In response to Secretary Vaki's encouragement, Minister Waipo extended an invitation for DIRD staff to visit Engram District to observe firsthand the progress made in service delivery initiatives. This collaborative approach aims to foster a better understanding of the district's unique challenges and successes. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
The Hiri Koiari district, one of the newly established districts in Papua New Guinea, presented its 2023 to 2024 acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development today. Local member Keith Iduhu was present to witness the presentation, underscoring the importance of accountability and transparency in the use of public funds.
During the presentation of the acquittals today, officials from the Hiri Koiari district detailed the allocation and expenditure of funds, highlighting key projects and initiatives aimed at improving infrastructure and services within the district. Local member Keith Iduhu, who was also present, emphasized the critical role of proper financial management in ensuring that resources are effectively utilized to benefit the community.
So we've done some roads, but we're pushing heavily on the primary healthcare in the villages. We're looking at we have rolled out Kido 8 was, for instance, accommodation for the health worker. We started, and I don't want to mention Gary, that was done back in 2023. But in the last 12 months, we worked on Boira, Kido, worked up in Sirinumu. We're rolling out in terms of education, just supporting with the classrooms like everybody else is doing aggressively.
The presentation served as an opportunity for district leaders to showcase their progress and the impact of funding on local development. Iduhu reaffirmed his commitment to supporting initiatives that will enhance the quality of life for his people and called for continued collaboration between local authorities and the national government. Secretary for DIRD Ahi Waki acknowledged the district for complying to government rules and regulations in the acquittal of funds.
There's a lot of work to be done, and it's going to be years to develop Hiri Koiari, but under your leadership, just make law.
The event also reflects ongoing efforts to strengthen governance and service delivery in the newly formed district. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
The continuous heavy rain and flooding in Port Moresby and its outskirts, including the Central Province, is threatening livestock, and the Livestock Development Corporation is concerned about the impact of continuous flooding. Susan Oriape with this report. The Livestock Development Corporation is appealing to the Works Department and the NCDC to immediately address a river blockage caused by debris flow from an old bridge that connects to the Kinakon Road, located behind the Tiaba Abattoir at 12 Mile, just outside Port Moresby. Managing Director for LCD, Hiri Koiari, said further flooding caused by the debris flow induced a river behind the property, posing risks to human and livestock livelihood, including negative impact on grazing grounds and property fencing caused by landslide triggered by flood waters. He said this not only poses a risk to livestock, but also to the health of people and animals, and can increase the risk of contracting waterborne diseases, whilst also contaminating valuable topsoil and cause death of livestock. There are more than 100 cattle at Tiaba that's been fattened for the slaughterhouse, and LDC said it is important that the grazing paddock is in good condition and has appropriate food sources to have healthy cattle that will produce good beef. Koiari said livestock is an important agenda that has the potential to bring back so much of the revenue that is spent. And now to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2462 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2387, $0.3794 Australian dollars, $0.2127 euro, and 35.09 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at near close, gold, cocoa, copra, and palm oil closed higher. Coffee and crude oil closed lower, while copper closed unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues after these short messages. Stay with us.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
Curly, straight, soft, wavy, afro, short, long, healthy. Palmolive Naturals for naturally beautiful hair.
It's formula infused with extracts like coconut oil, aloe vera and avocado to enhance your hair's natural beauty, giving you naturally beautiful hair that always looks gorgeous and smells great throughout the day. Palmolive Naturals.
Have a great hair day!
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves. This honking is doing your head in. Why don't you go and put a stop to it? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang ding, ding ding dong, bum bum.
Open bets.
It home and enjoyed it as well.
Self in from 50, goes for home. That's the one they've been searching for. Jake Bowie gets the D's on the board.
Thanks for staying with us. The Papua New Guinea Defence Force Air Transport Wing welcomed its aircraft and contingent back to Port Moresby yesterday after the team participated in 2 weeks of training at the 2025 Air Show in Victoria, Australia.
This year, the PNG Defence Force Air Transport Wing contingent comprising 11 pilots and engineers, flew down to Avalon with the PAC 750 aircraft to display its tactical lift capabilities. PNGDF ATW, in partnership with the Royal Australian Air Force under the Flight of Excellence program, attended the air show and displayed a well-rounded set of skills in the airspace, landing an award for being the best tanker or transport aircraft. This event, being one of the largest in the Southern Hemisphere, included static aircraft exhibition, breathtaking aerial displays, and industry-related conferences showcasing both military and civilian aircraft from countries around the world. ATW Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Douglas Vavar was present to welcome the crew. Vavar expressed deep satisfaction to the crew for representing the PNGDF and the people of PNG on the international stage.
Of 11 personnel, including a civilian, one of our Halifax maintainers who traveled with the team. So they did very well representing our country, representing the PNG Defence Force and representing the unit.
Detachment Commander of ATW, Captain Cameron Osea, who led a team of 9 PNGDF personnel, including Australian Air Force, said they learnt a lot from the training and gained vital experience. Osea said the main challenge they face is to learn how to fly big military planes. However, one of their biggest contributions to the partnership was the training of the Australian Defence on how to fly on rough terrains, because countries like Australia do not have rugged terrains like Papua New Guinea.
In and around terrain is something that a lot of other air forces do not experience as much as we do. So they were keen to learn a lot of our experiences flying in PNG. Plus, we were keen to learn as to how they fly the big military machines around the world.
Tracy Pa, Tvwan News.
The Hiri Moale Festival continues in Port Moresby with spectacular float and motorcade officially launched this morning by the NCD Governor Paul Pakop. The event celebrates the rich Motu Koitabu culture and traditions, marking an important moment for the indigenous people of the National Capital District. Standing before 9 Hiri Hanenamo contestants and beautifully decorated floats, Governor Paul Pakop emphasized the deep cultural significance of the Hiri trade, which has shaped the resilience, relationships and survival of the Motu Koitabu people for thousands of years. Governor Pakop acknowledged Motu Koitabu Assembly Chairman Dari Toka Jr., city officials and event organizers for their efforts in preserving and expanding the festival. He encouraged all city residents to celebrate, respect and recognize the rightful landowners of Port Moresby.
So one time in the year, we come together and must come together to acknowledge and recognize and celebrate the culture of our people, the Motuans and Koitabu, their identity, their place in the city, in their land that they've shared with us and continue to share with us. And to make a very important statement too, that this city is their city. It is our city, but it's first and foremost their city, their land, which we share collectively with them. And that's very important for our city, our national capital, now and into the future. We must never forget that.
The float parade, featuring 10 elaborately designed floats, with 9 transporting 1 Hiri Hanenamo each, made their way from City Hall to Erakone, with hopes that next year's event will grow even bigger. The floats were constructed by various schools representing different villages and showcasing the Hiri Hanenamo tradition. Among the participating schools were St. Michael Primary School, Tatana Primary School and Emmanuel Academy. Governor Pakop also reaffirmed NCD's continued support, pledging to increase funding for the festival, which currently stands at 800,000 kina.
We probably can go more into 1 million. I want to challenge all of us. As NCDC budget and revenue increase, of course we will increase the support to this festival, because it's an important festival to celebrate our people. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's have a great celebration, great festival, great dancing, sailing, and all the Hiri Hanenamos. They will go and do their stuff and use this platform to really promote themselves. A great platform for young women of Motu Koidabu within the city and also in the district of Hiri Koiari. So it's going to be a great festival down at Erakone and, of course, Seibad Marriage Stadium.
The float ended today at Erakone and other events featuring cultural performances, traditional tattoo displays, canoe races and more will run throughout this week, ensuring a vibrant celebration of the Motu Koidabu identity. Turning abroad, the High Court has thrown out a claim by 2 asylum seekers who said they were illegally detained while their visa applications were being assessed. The case was a test of the limit of the High Court's ruling that indefinite immigration detention is not legal when there is not prospect of removal.
One of the men is from Poland, the other Vietnam, and both are seeking protection visas after a ruling in their favour. Their lawyers claimed they'd been held in immigration detention illegally because there was no prospect of their removal in the foreseeable future. The men had hoped to sue the government for damages in the federal court, but the Commonwealth moved the case to the High Court to resolve the issue of whether their detention was illegal or not. The government said the ruling on indefinite detention was confined to those detained pending removal. The court heard the 2 men in this case had not been detained to be removed. They were in detention while their visas were being assessed, and that was entirely within the Constitution. The High Court agreed, finding the men's detention while their visas were being assessed was mandatory under the Constitution. The case is one of a string of challenges aimed at testing the limits of the High Court's ruling on indefinite immigration detention.
For the first time this century, doctors at the New South Wales public hospitals will walk off the job. The union says thousands of medics will strike for 3 days next week, with elective surgery likely to be cancelled. It's the latest front to open up in an industrial war between the Min's government and health professionals as fighting over pay and conditions drags on.
It's been almost 30 years since doctors took measures as drastic as this.
2,500 young doctors rallied in Sydney.
The walkout leaving hospitals with skeleton staffing.
From today, public hospitals in New South Wales are treating only emergency and critical cases.
Patients face the same prospect next week, with doctors planning to strike from Tuesday to Thursday.
I've never done this before in my life. Most doctors find it very uncomfortable.
They say they're underpaid and overworked.
I myself have had to pull over in the middle of going home after a long shift and sleep on the side of the road because otherwise I would have crashed my car.
Amongst their demands is a pay rise of 30% in a single year to reach parity with other states.
A 30% increase equates to around about $75,000 for a senior staff specialist on about a $400,000 package.
The government is offering 10.5% over 3 years.
They have offered substantial increases, pay increases to other sectors, but not to doctors and nurses.
The strikes will defy the state's industrial umpire, which yesterday ordered doctors not to take action. But the union has decided to go ahead anyway, unfazed by a potential penalty of $20,000.
The union will wear any potential fines.
The union insists emergency departments will remain staffed at safe levels. The Health Ministry confident the system can handle the strikes.
I'd like to say we probably overstaff, and I think that's a good thing in terms of patient care and safety. That's not to say that there's plenty of fat to take out in an industrial sense.
But yet to land a deal with nurses and psychiatrists, its industrial headache is getting worse.
The impact of the drought in South Australia is continuing to be laid bare, with the latest data showing Adelaide's reservoirs continue to drop to historic lows. As Queensland experiences record-breaking floods, some residents here are still waiting weeks to receive water and are fearful they may run out.
Gary Payne has spent his whole life in the Adelaide Hills and has never seen it this dry.
We normally don't have to panic in this area, having
so-called reliable rainfall, but this year it's proven it all wrong.
The third-generation farmer is relying on the last dam on his Harrogate property. Mr Payne says he's contemplating emergency water carting, but says it's a 4-week wait.
At times I feel pretty depressed, saying what the hell are we doing here? Having to slog away, feeding cattle all the time.
Closer to Adelaide, the drought is also depleting water supply. A report tabled in Parliament shows the lowest water inflows in 40 years have resulted in the city's reservoirs dropping to their lowest levels in more than 2 decades.
They're at 38% of full capacity right now. Same day last year, it was 50%. So we know towards the end of summer that we will see the reservoirs drop, but this is worryingly low.
It prompted the government to ramp up production at the Lonsdale desalination plant in January, a move that's never been needed until this year.
Make no mistake, in ordinary people's terms, this is a drought.
It's hoped the increased production, along with ongoing supply from the River Murray, will prevent the need for water restrictions. And despite parts of Queensland and northern SA being inundated with water, it's unlikely any will come Adelaide's way.
I don't want to get it too skimpy, but I'm still proud to say I'm hanging in there.
The Premier has met with farmers and industry representatives, with the state government under increasing pressure to do more for the struggling agriculture sector as the drought drags on. The opposition leader is expected to meet with similar groups on Friday.
Losing an eye is a traumatic experience, and for many, the process of being fitted with an artificial eye is an important part of the healing process. But the ABC has spoken to a number of people who've had a disappointing experience with one operator who makes prosthetic eyes, Jack McDonald. It's led to questions over whether there needs to be better regulation of the industry.
Jenny Miller needed to have one of her eyes removed to stop cancer on her retina spreading to the rest of her body.
Can I tell you how awful it was? It was terrible.
Jenny was hopeful having an artificial eye made would be the start of her recovery. She made an appointment with ocularist Jack McDonald, who operates out of a number of offices around the country, including Hobart, making prosthetic eyes, fingers, ears and noses. She paid $2,800 up front for her eye. When she went for a fitting months later, it was too big, bulgy and uncomfortable.
So that was when you were indicating that it was pretty sore.
Jenny says Jack McDonald made attempts to adjust the eye, but it remained unsatisfactory and she lost faith in the process.
I normally just power through and try and see the light at the end of the tunnel, but perhaps it's come at the end of a long journey and it's just not fair.
Jamie Beverley says he had a disappointing experience with Jack McDonald.
They just didn't look right. They were either too small, not aesthetically looking. The iris was in the wrong spot. You'd either look like you were cross-eyed or you're looking at the ground. It just was not professional the way it should be.
Peter Knowles is the president of the Ocularists Association of Australia. He's received 9 formal complaints about Mr McDonald. Many shared common themes.
Promises being made and not delivered on, and then goods being provided, or artificial eye in this case being provided, which is not fit for purpose. It's either unsightly, uncomfortable, at times painful.
There's no government regulation covering ocularists in Australia. Mr Knowles says it's not been a problem until recently.
Regulation, will it happen? Maybe. Would it help? Possibly. But our association does, without obviously being a regulatory body, we do provide a service of to each other of both education, support and review.
Jack McDonald is not a member of the Ocularists Association of Australia, and he is not required to be. He has not answered the ABC's request for a response to concerns.
And that ends the news segment. In sports, Hunters duo out and new coach for Barras.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Buying PNG made.
It's back to school with Lay Biscuits. We're giving away a massive 100,000 kina cash gift voucher to help you kickstart the year. We've got prizes up for grabs from 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, and a whopping 5,000 kina cash gift voucher. Here's how to enter. Spend 10 kina or more on any Lay Biscuit product. Write the contact details on the back of the receipt for your chance to win. Promotion starts on the 10th of February and ends on the 4th of April. Fresh draw on the 11th of April and the major draw on the 16th of April. See selected stores nationwide. Terms and conditions apply.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
It's a new year.
That is exquisite rugby league!
A new season with new beginnings, new leaders, and new hope. The only thing that isn't new is the dream.
That is the NRL at its absolute best.
It all starts now. The NRL Telstra Premiership. Let's go!
Thundermans, I need you to pose as civilians.
Sounds like we're going thunder cover. I'm in.
The Thundermans are back.
I'm Chloe. I'm new here. This is a mission, not a vacation.
In a brand new show.
So much power.
You got Riz.
Am I using it right?
No.
The Thundermans Undercover, a brand new show, starts April 7th on Nickelodeon. Also available on demand. Check with your local operator for more info.
Welcome back. The PNG Hunters are riding high after their impressive 40 points to 6 victory over the Brisbane Tigers, but they face some challenges with injuries to key players. Hunters might be without 2 of their players as they focus on their next away game against the Tweedhead Seagulls in Gold Coast, Queensland on Saturday. Notably, Hunters' explosive number 9 Finlay Glare and centre Elijah Rottinger sustained injuries from last weekend's clash and won't likely be considered for selection this week. Hunters coach Paul Eiton shared updates on the team's preparation today.
Unfortunately, Glare suffered a concussion during training and is sidelined for an estimated 3 weeks. Coach Paul Eiton expressed confidence in Trevor Solu stepping up as his replacement. Eiton highlighted Solu's ability and emphasized that player selection are done based on merit. For Roltinga, despite sustaining a PCL injury during the match against the Tigers, Roltinga demonstrated strong character by finishing the game. His injury will also keep him out for about 3 weeks, opening the door for Clint Lama to make his mark.
Yeah, it's been a good week for us. We had a short turnaround. Sunday, Saturday game. We travel tomorrow. So I've had 3 field sessions so far. So it's been a good few days.
Concerns were also raised about Mavoko's kicking game last week, while Eiton stated his trust in Mavoko, acknowledging that every player has off days. Eiton made a special rep on Gairo Voro's game last week. He praised his significant development and growing confidence, noting the positive transformation since he joined the team.
It's unfortunate for Finley, but gives Tapio a go, and we're last torn a PCL, so he's 3 to 6 weeks away. So he did that early in the game, and it just shows his character and how tough and resilient he is. He did it early in the game and he played the whole game, did 120 metres, scored a try. all that with a grade 2 PCL. So yeah, he's just a tough player, and you know I'm lucky to have those kind of players that can push through that, deliver what he did. But then gives a chance for Clint.
Coach Ayton addressed the challenges of playing away games, emphasizing the need to shift the team's mindset.
You know, there's a lot of talk about that, and not that we don't really talk about that, but there's definitely something that we want to change. We want to play good everywhere, you know, and I presume the only factors is the travel and, you know, this and that. And as far as we're concerned, I think it's all excuses. So our week's prepared exactly the same, it's stable every week. So we've changed our week around to suit that every week. So there's no real excuse for us. We just got to do the job when we get there.
As the Hunters prepare for the next games, the team is committed to maintaining the intensity and overcoming the hurdles presented by injuries and away challenges. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Easter Charity Golf Tournament, originally scheduled for Friday, April 4, 2025, has been postponed due to persistent wet weather conditions. Organisers confirmed that the Port Moresby Golf Club course is currently waterlogged, and with more rain forecast, golf carts cannot be used safely at this time. The event has now been rescheduled to October 10, 2025. Further updates will be provided in the coming months. Organisers expressed gratitude to Ella Motors, participating companies and businesses for their generosity in donating prizes, food items and registering teams. Despite the delay, organisers remain optimistic about hosting a successful event later in the year. Cricket PNG has announced Tim Nielsen as the new coach for Barramundis and also as Cricket PNG's high-performance manager for the year. With a wealth of experience in coaching and performance management, Tim is expected to steer the PNG national team to success. He has taken over the role from Tatenda Taibu, who had been in charge of the team in the last 2 years.
Prior to joining Cricket PNG, Nielsen worked with various elite teams and athletes throughout his distinguished career. His expertise in fostering high-performance environment and his leadership style make him an ideal fit for these roles. According to Cricket PNG, Tim's appointment marks a significant milestone for the organization as they continue to strive for excellence in the national team's performance and development. His vast experience and leadership skills will contribute to the growth of the Barramundis and other national teams, ensuring they continue to evolve, build resilience and achieving their full potential globally. Nielsen is honored to have been appointed as the high-performance manager and Barramundis head coach and looks forward to his new job. He has set his aims high to build on players' strengths and strive for excellence for the national teams. Tim Nielsen was born in Forest Gate, London, and moved to Australia where he had a notable cricket career as a wicket-keeper batsman for South Australia. After retiring from playing, he transitioned into coaching, initially serving as an assistant coach for the South Australian Redbacks and later for the Australian national team under the head coach John Buchanan. Nielsen last served as high-performance coach for Pakistan's Test cricket team 2024. However, he resigned in December 2024 over issues with the Pakistan Cricket Board related to contract renewal process. Nielsen's first visit to PNG is from 2nd to 14th of April, coincide with Isuzu Men's T20 Smash, which gets underway this coming Friday, 4th April at Amini Park. The visit will enable him to meet PNG national coaches and players and take the first step to review Cricket PNG's high-performance setup. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League has embarked on rolling out programs to enhance and drive participation within youth rugby league with a focus on girls and women through its Better Rugby League Development Program, or Better RLDP. The Better RLDP aims to create a supportive and empowering environment for female athletes to learn and excel in rugby league. It is an 8-week program based on fundamental football skills and well-being education.
Now they spread it back towards the right. Good hands. Working the cross back towards the short side.
The targeted age group for this program is between 17 and 22 years old, with girls from all sports and those keen on trying out for rugby league encouraged to participate. The key phases of the program are the talent identification combined phase, skill development program phase, and the athlete well-being program. PNG RFL General Manager for Pathways and Performance, Tony Archer, spoke of the program being an opportunity to also bridge the gap between local leagues and the Santos Cup National Women's Competition. PNG RFL CEO Stanley Ondina shared on the importance of engaging youth and seeing the development of female talent in the country in preparation for the potential expansion in coming years of the National Youth Competition. The Better RLDP hosted the first of the Phase 1 program, Talent Identification Combines, in NCD Central on the 28th and 29th of March at the Santos National Football Stadium, seeing close to 200 young women participate over 2 days. Talent ID Combines will continue across the other 4 centres of Kokopo, Mount Hagen, Lae and Goroka. The top-performing 30 participants from each centre will then be invited to go through the 8-week program. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Team PNG Hero Athlete Workshop has expanded beyond Port Moresby, reaching athletes in Kokopo, Lae and Goroka. Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee took this initiative further, ensuring that more athletes across the country have the opportunity to be part of this impactful program.
The 3-day workshop, which ran from Friday 28 to Sunday 30th March, introduced athletes to the foundation of being a Team PNG Hero athlete, delivering impactful program and taking action as hero athletes. This initiative, which develops leadership and community engagement among athletes, is designed to improve sportsmen and women to create meaningful change in their communities through sport. This year's batch of hero athletes included 46 new members, with the highest number from Lae with 16, followed by Goroka with 11, Port Moresby with 10 and Kokopo 9. By expanding to new provinces, PNG OC aims to reach athletes who previously had limited access to such programs, equipping them with the knowledge and skills to inspire their communities. The Team PNG Hero Athlete Program is more than just a sports ambassadorship. It is a leadership program designed to impart core values of honesty, excellence, respect, and openness in athletes, preparing them to serve as role models both on and off the field. The program also focuses on community outreach through projects such as the Olympic Values Education Program, Love Your Coast, and Kicks for Kokoda. Speaking on the expansion of the program, PNG OC Secretary General Desmond Kaviagu emphasized its importance, saying the program is not just about developing great athletes, but great leaders. The final day of the workshop focused on taking action, ensuring that each athlete left with a clear plan on how they would apply their newfound knowledge and skills to benefit communities through PNG OC. As the Team PNG Hero Athlete Program continues to grow, PNG OC remains committed to expanding opportunities for athletes nationwide. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that's all we have for sports. Now for the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby, few showers with possible thunderstorms. Momase, Lae and Wewak, mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo, Rapal, Kimbe and Buka, cloudy periods with some rain, then rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands region, Mount Hagen, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea, seas smooth to slight with northwest to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Solomon and Bismarck seas, seas smooth to slight with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas slight with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots, and coastal waters. Waters of Hood Point to Samarai Island to Cape Bogle and Old Millen Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends the news this Thursday, the 3rd of April. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The Tvwan News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.